Okay, hi everyone, my name is Miss Marilyn. Basically, I put a thing on my website and my Twitter about 2 years ago saying that I was going to do a Q&A and for people to send the questions in. I got loads of questions at the time but just fucking forgot about it, and I got questions yesterday, so I've written them all down and I'm going to answer them all today. Basically, I am going to start a little channel posting videos quite frequently about things such as how to become a dominant, about risks, safety, emotional, otherwise, and just generally about dominant submission, BDSM scene, and loads of different things. I get loads of emails every week from girls asking how to become a dominatrix, and yeah, I just thought, you know what, I'll start doing videos. So I'm going to answer all these questions and I'm going to try my absolute best not to be boring as fuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate the questions about my job with really personal questions that I've had. I mention loads and loads of dominatrixes in this video, so if I've tagged you in it, then I mention you in it. You can watch all the way through until your name if you want, or you can not watch at all. I've not said anything bad about anyone, that's for sure. So if you're in it, then you're in it for a good reason. Right, first of all, question number 1. What age are you? I am 23. I will be 24 in February. How long have you been a dom? I've been a dom for coming on 5 years now. So I started when I just turned 19. And obviously I'm just about to turn 24, so about 5 years. Have you ever fucked a submissive? Not on company time? No, I haven't. Things have got a little bit emotional and a little bit sexual with about 3 submissives I've had in the past. Obviously, if you see hundreds of men naked and interact with them in, you know, a sexual setting, then you are going to fancy at least one of them. So no, I've not fucked a submissive. Not that I wouldn't do it, I just haven't. In fact, I had one of my regular submissives who is a young guy who is very beautiful, and we get along really well. And at one point in a session that we had, I was very, very horny and he was blindfolded and tied to the bed and stuff. And I said, oh, maybe mistress will make you a little sex slave. And he said, no, please don't. So I didn't. And yeah, obviously being a dominatrix is all about consent. So I didn't do that. And yeah, I've never tried to fuck anyone else, I don't think. I have snogged a few though, in the heat of the moment. But no more than 5. In fact, no more than 3. Yeah. So things have got sexual, but I've never actually fucked any submissives. Where are you from? Lots of different places. And if you get that film reference, then me and you can be best friends for the rest of our lives. Favourite track to session to? Without a doubt, my favourite track to session to is Angel by Massive Attack. I also like Teardrop by Massive Attack to session to. And another great one is Cochise by Audio Slave. So both of these are very kind of like suspenseful, dramatic, intense, theatrical songs that really kind of put you on edge. Also Hysteria by Muse. It really depends on what kind of session you're having. How did you become a dom? That's a very long story, so I will leave that for another video about becoming a dom and, you know, how to be a dominant. Favourite memory of being a dominatrix? Okay, so from the past 5 years, I've had many amazing memories with lots of different women. And my all-time favourite memory from being a dom for the past 5 years, I actually can't tell you about. It was in my very first session that I ever had with Mistress Inca. And something happened in the session which was not planned. It sounds sexual, it wasn't sexual. Yeah, something that was not planned. It happened by mistake and it was really hilarious, but I've never told anyone about it, so yeah, so that was my favourite moment. My other favourite moment was, in fact, most double dom sessions I have with Mistress Inca are generally completely hilarious, because we get on like a house on fire and we bounce off one another. So yes, definitely a memory from one of them. We had a guy down in London in a hotel. We dressed him up as a goth and made him dance around to The Cure. That was another really fabulous highlight. Okay, best sex I have ever had. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was a hate fuck. We really hated each other. I was having an affair with him, and he was having an affair with me. But we were both really alike. We argued all the time, but had great sex. And it was our last fuck, actually, of all time, that we had. And it was just really intense, really hateful, really hard going. So yeah, that was the best sex I've ever had. Fantasy celebrity to session with. Ewan Rion from Game of Thrones, who played Ramsay Bolton. Not because I want to punish him for what he did as Ramsay Bolton, but just because the things I would do to that man are illegal in most United States. Okay, so I've answered that. Describe an ideal session for you. Okay, for me to enjoy it, it would be great if he looked like Tom Hardy, he smelled really good, brought loads of cake and chocolate, and wanted me to kick him in the balls for 3 hours straight. That would be great. But in all seriousness, it would be with someone who was really open about what they wanted, very articulate about what they needed from the session, and kind of what they expected. But overall, it would involve some sort of role play, because I love role play. I'm very theatrical. So yeah, just, you know, someone open and honest about what they wanted. And ideally with a sense of humour as well. Cocktail named after you. The Filthy Bitch. I'll have a filthy bitch. Dirty Bitch Daiquiri. Cheeky Girl. Yeah, something along those lines. Doms I would love to meet. I have been in the same vicinity as Morrigan Hill multiple times, but I've never got the chance to speak to her. I would love to meet her properly and have a chat. I just think she's great. Her entire image, everything that she's created since she started being a dominatrix years ago. And I know people that know her and have said that she's wonderful, so I would love to sit down and have a chat with her. Other doms I'd love to meet. I'd love to meet Mistress Veronica from Sanctuary LAX, because I really fancy her. And another dom I'd love to meet, Dominatrix, who I follow on Twitter and have done for a few years now. Just everything about that woman is phenomenal. Her outfits, her dungeon, her life in general, the way she carries herself, just absolutely everything about her is just, it's just amazing. I would love to meet her. Who else? Princess Aurora from Manchester. I think all of her looks are fire. All of her fucking photos are amazing. She's rocking it, so I would love to meet her. What else? What age did you lose your virginity? I lost my virginity when I was 16. 16, and it was in a tent in the middle of winter, and it was fucking freezing, and it was a non-event. It wasn't great, it wasn't terrible, it was just nothing. So yeah, 16. Doms I would like to session with. As a sub, as in if I was a submissive, who would I like to session with? I'm guessing that's what it means. Vivian Lamour, definitely, without doubt. Mistress T, just because she's phenomenal. Vivian Lamour, for so many reasons. I know Vivian, so I know what she's like, and I just think she is on point. Who else? Mistress Buffy Brown from Manchester. Love it. She's like one of my favourite people I've met. Who does this job. She's just such a warm, genuine woman. and I think she's great. So I would love to session with her. I would also maybe take a chance and session with Miss Kitty. I'm saying take a chance not because I don't think she's great. I do, and I would love to session with her as a submissive. But she seems so wicked in all her little clips. She seems like a real sadist. I've met her in real life and I love her. I don't know if I can handle it. So yeah, there's 4 names that I would love to session with. How many times have you been shat on? Okay, I worked this out earlier and it was about 23. And I'm probably forgetting a few times. I'm probably mentally blocking it out. So 25 or a few more. A lot, anyway. Person you'd most like to have sex with. Now I know that most of these questions are sexual. But okay. Person I'd most like to have sex with in general, or famous, or you know, a submissive, or what? Person I'd most like to have sex with in general in my life. Not gonna answer that. Person I'd most like to have sex with out of my submissives, none of them. Person I'd most like to have sex with famous, Scarlett Johansson. What is the best thing a slave could do to make you feel appreciated? Give me a really nice massage. Buy me a gift, not an expensive gift, just a really personal gift that is completely to my tastes, whether it be a fucking candle holder or a pair of socks. Just as long as, you know that a lot of thought has been went into it, and that, yeah, just that they know you and that they've paid attention, basically. Also, if they cook a meal for me, that'd be nice. Okay, what's next? Would you session with yourself? Yes, but because I'm very theatrical, or at least I can be, and I like very theatrical scenes in my sex life as well. So I would definitely session with myself. Who inspires you? Doms who inspire you. Okay. Doms who inspire me. Okay, this is going to sound really cliche, and like I've just said it for the sake of saying it because, you know, she's my best mate, but it's really not the case. The person who inspires me, and also in turn makes me feel terrible about my dom style, is Mr. Zinka, who works in Edinburgh and everyone knows because Blight joined at the hip. She inspires me because she's so creative. I have lots of videos of her sessioning with people on my computer, and obviously I've seen her dom in person a million times. And yeah, not once have I not been astounded by her imagination. I mean, the scenes that she creates, you know, whether it be predicament bondage, or she'll come up with an amazing kind of CBT fucking thing that you've never seen before, and she's really good at all the technical stuff. So yeah, I just love watching her work. It's a privilege, and obviously because I love her to bits, I find her more amazing than I would if I didn't really care about her. But she is so creative, so amazing, and I love and hate watching her work because I'm like, oh, fuck, I couldn't do that. Fuck, I would never have thought of that. Yeah, just fuck. I don't have a brain or an imagination, and I wish I did. So she inspires me the most, the absolute most. Who else inspires me? I'm probably blanking here. Fuck, right. Don't inspire me. In fact, before I tell you about that one, I will tell you about the most genuinely dominant woman I have ever came across in the past 5 years is, without a doubt, Governess Ellie, who I haven't seen for a very long time and who I would love to see again. I have stayed with her multiple times, with Mr. Zinker in the past, when she was working down in Kent, and I admit I was actually quite terrified of her when we first met, because she was such a presence. She wasn't in any way scary. She was lovely, and she is lovely, but fucking hell, just the power that this woman has. And the thing is, it's so genuine. You know that's who she is as a person. I think a lot of women that I know that do this job have to, just a little bit, but have to get into character before sessions, whereas she is just 24/7 a fucking boss ass, dominant, amazing woman. And the way she talks, the things she says, just everything about her was just phenomenal to behold. And I still, even though that was a few years ago now, I still haven't met anyone that I just kind of thought completely encapsulated what a dominant woman is. And I mean, she's lovely as well, and she's really funny, and so yeah, just she inspires me because she just is Governess Ellie. That's just her, and she's just great. Who else who inspires me? I met someone very recently, the last time I was in London, I met a male Dom down there, and he doesn't work as a pro Dom, but he fucking should, and he was just, actually, he's kind of renewed my lease of life for domination, because he was so passionate about it, and I've chatted to him a bit since we came back, and I just, it's really easy to become jaded and a bit disenchanted with being a pro dominatrix, because you spend most of your life speaking to time wasters, being harassed with multiple messages, emails, phone calls, and yeah, so it's easy to forget what this job is really about. I mean, domination, if you dominate someone, you're giving them a gift, and if someone is truly, genuinely submitting to you, that's an even greater gift, because they're putting themselves completely into your hands, emotionally, physically, and overall. And you know, a lot of people who come and see you are people who come and see you once every 6 months when they can get away or when they need to see a dominatrix. But when you get the kind of genuine submissives who want to serve, you don't appreciate it that much, because you've just became so pissed off and impatient with all the shit that you have to wade through before you find the email or the submissive that's for you. So yeah, you kind of forget the fundamentals of what this job really is about and what kind of BDSM stands for. I mean, I don't think there's anything more intimate than a genuine DS relationship. Okay, so I've only got a few questions left. I should have actually been marking them off while I've been going along, because I can't remember what I've answered and what I've not. Okay, so we've done that. Yes, I've done that. Right, so there's still more sex questions. What did the last person you had sex with look like? The last person I had sex with looked like if a young Donny Osmond and the guy who plays Robb Stark in Game of Thrones had a kid. That's what he looks like. Most extreme session I've had. I had a guy when I had just first started out, and he contacted me through Adult Work, and basically he said, I want you to kick me in the balls until I pass out. No matter what I say, no matter how much I plead, I want you to kick me in the balls until I pass out. Now, I love CBT and I love kicking people in the balls, so I was totally up for it. He came and he was quite strange, actually. And yeah, so I kicked him in the balls loads and loads, and he didn't pass out, and I was doing it as hard as I possibly could, and he would not pass out. I literally kicked him in the balls from the second he got in till the second he left, and he did not pass out. I have never abused someone's balls like this again, or in my life before. I don't know how he didn't pass out, but he didn't. That was fucking mental. It was really extreme. And yeah, he complained actually afterwards. He sent me a big email just about the fact that I hadn't kicked him in the balls. I hadn't found a way to kick him in the balls enough that he would pass out. And believe you me, I was fucking trying. Most LOL moment in session. There's been multiple times that Mistress Inca and I have started There's been multiple times that Mistress Inca and I have been doing a double dom session and we start laughing about whatever it is that's happening and we literally cannot continue. It's not happened in a while because I haven't seen her in a while, but yes, we're generally crying tears of laughter and we can't possibly continue. One of the ones that is quite fresh in my memory, we have this Irish guy that comes for humiliation and we put him in one of those really creepy fucking plastic women's faces that terrify me. Had him in a wig and we dressed him up in red fishnets and we made him be French. And I'm sure you saw the little clip actually on my Twitter. And we put a French duster up his arse and made him run about the floor, dusting the floor, and then we fucked him up the arse to Je ne regrette rien by Maria Callas. Is that right? You know that one that goes, no, that one. Yeah, we fucked him up the arse to that, and also Voulez-Vous by ABBA. And that was just brilliant. That was a great session. What would I be doing if I wasn't a dom? Drugs. No. I don't know. I've done so many things in my life. I don't know where I would be. I was a singer before I was a dom. I worked as the singer at the Jam House in Edinburgh for a little while before I became a dominatrix, and before that I worked as an actor for about 2 years. And before that I've done loads of things: joinery, law, waitressing, just everything. So yeah, I don't know what I would do if I wasn't a dom. I'm very passionate about writing, as anyone who knows me will know, and I've had, putting the dominatrix thing aside, I've had quite an interesting life, so I have plenty to write about. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is the last question. I'll check afterwards. Have I met any doms I don't like? In short, fuck yes. It's like any other job. You're not gonna get on with everyone that you come across. But I will say, 99.9% of women that I have met, fellow doms that I have met, be it at events or in their dungeons or whatever, have been amazing. The best kind of women that I've ever met in my life. My favourite people are dominatrixes. I don't mean in general, I mean my favourite people on earth are people that I've met through doing this. And just like any other profession, you know, people are alright, and then every now and again you come across a cunt. But it is very rare because this job seems to draw quite a lot of good people. And have I met any doms that didn't like me? Probably. In fact, I'd be willing to bet my life on it. So yeah. Yes, I have met doms I don't like, and yes, some doms don't like me. Pretty simple. And pretty, you know, normal for general life. So that has been me answering all the questions that I got, and I would just like to say thank you so much for watching. If you got to the end of this, or if you skipped it, that's fine too. If you thought it was really shit and I bored you out your gourd, feel free to write something hateful in the comments. If you enjoyed it, then make sure you tune in for the rest of my videos, which I will be doing quite frequently, like I said, from now on. So yeah, thank you for everyone who's sent me a question, be it 2 years ago or yesterday. And yeah, thank you for watching me talk shit for however long it is. I think it's like half an hour long or something. Okay, thank you.